Hi, this is Virgil, and this video is my work in process video about the work I done in the last few weeks. In response to the subject of observation, I used the Maya and Substance Painter to create a 3D mold of this ring. By creating this mold and filling in the details, I proved that on some very small projects, some details can also reveal their experience. On this ring, some small structures and traits are revealed through careful observation and show the story behind the details. A similar idea can be seen in Amy's book, that creatures should struggle with their own inner insights and transcend themselves to perceive a more real world. There are countless inspirations and stories in this world, but they are all hid in tiny details. Only by careful observation, this particular world will appear in the eyes of creature. In response to the twinkling themes, I draw some fantasy creatures in Photoshop and that actually didn't exist. In this process, I opened the photo website first, search for random animal pictures, and observe characters created to combine them into two groups of new animals. As shown in the pictures, the searched animals are rabbits and pigeons, kitten and buffalo, wolf and oxers, and frog and pig. Similar idea can be seen in the book by Peter by observing the character taste of creatures and combine them to create new fantasy creatures. This method is a common method used by many designers when creating not only in the field of fantasy creatures, but also in the other fields. In response to the theme of found object this world, I appropriately modified a photo in Photoshop and made it into an ink painting style pictures of a Chinese fantasy creatures through some paintings. This photo is from a corner of my room. The paint on the wall peels off and relieves the deep structure, forms, and some patterns. I found that some of the patterns looks like a whales, so I created this painting based on the inspiration of online lecture and videos. In a popular novel Swordman in Shu Mountain, it is anciently that a school was built on the back of the huge whale. Due to the age, this novel is now hard to find, but in Paris video, a flying whale was made using visual visions technology. In response to the theme of place this week, I drew the picture Buddha in the cave in Photoshop. Through this picture, I try to explore whether the Spain's structure can tell the story through the imagination of the audience. What I want to express was that the temple was originally proposed in caves gradually withered in thousands of years. The temple was submerged by underground water, leaving only the broken but Buddhas stayed hid in the dark cave. Artist Fan He can also create similar works of art, and his scene design and concept design have been used in films and video game projects in many places. In response to the theme of object-oriented alternatively this week, I drew the picture playing chess in Photoshop. When I first considered this subject, I fell deeply into the philosophical thinking in it, and was guided into a logical paradox of thinking by the two things concept of human observation and ignores human observation. After completely abandoning a deep understanding of the concept of object-oriented identity, I was suddenly attracted by the idea that study of human observation may be the instinct activities of other fantasy creatures in another dimension. Based on this inspiration, I created this simple picture. I want to use this picture to explore the clouds we observed. In fact, it might be two the other creatures playing chess. The white cloud and the black cloud are their chess pieces. The inner sky is the chessboard. The thunder and the rain we observed are actually the outcome or annexations of the chess pieces. This inspiration comes from the article by Michael S., which mentions the philosophy thinking about the object-oriented alternately and thinking between the human observation and the actual property of objects under the postmodern system. Among the topics of past few weeks, I am most interested in the found object topic. This aim is to allow creators to discover different properties of objects and even different meanings. In my opinion, this aim is to allow the creators to jump out of the box and break the inspired shell that life and experience bring us. On the other hand, this behavior of jump out of the box also makes our self-experience and new things have different contents. For example, before the response to this theme, I would never associate well with my delete wells. Based on this new way of thinking, I have gone back to thinking about the work that I have created and thinking about them in the way of found objects, created some new counts and added them into my own portfolio. This is all my video I see, and thanks for your watching and time.